Self-acceptance part 2. If you watched part 1, you know that before you can fall in love with yourself completely, you need to accept yourself fully, just exactly as you are. This means accepting and even loving your body just the way it is today. Let's face it, chicas, as women, we tend to have huge issues with body image. There's so much pressure on women to be physically beautiful and to look young. It's really unfair, chicas. I know men can go gray or bald and get huge pot bellies and not even be nice, and nobody makes them feel bad about it. As women, we beat ourselves and each other up for being too skinny, too fat, too flabby, having too many wrinkles, too many gray hairs. The list goes on and on. Exhausting being a woman. And it seems to get worse as we get older. The problem is deep-seated for many of us, and it may seem virtually impossible to rid ourselves of every single insecurity in relation to our bodies. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's definitely possible to improve your body image and learn to at least accept your entire body exactly as it is today. I'm gonna give you 3 different areas that you can work on in order to do this, so make sure you listen until the end. Hola, chicas poderosas. I'm Rosas, and this is my YouTube channel, Chica Power, where you learn how to fall in love with yourself first. Just want to take a minute here and ask a favor. If you like this video and find it helpful, please give it a like, and please, por favor, subscribe to my channel. You can also ring the bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. I'm going to be completely honest here, chicas. Body image is an emotional topic for me. This is probably the hardest video I've had to make so far. I've had issues with my weight ever since I can remember. I was a bit chubby growing up, and my mother unwittingly made me aware that I was gordita. For Latinas, being gordita is not a bad thing. In fact, it's probably preferred over being thin. But I was born and raised in the United States, so I quickly made the connection in my mind that my body weight was not in the preferred category. The fact that I'm significantly taller than the average Latina also didn't make things better, because taller means heavier. I slimmed down when I hit puberty. I was never thin, but I was very healthy and curvy. But the damage had already been done. I remember going on a strict diet when I was in high school because I wanted to look skinnier in my skinny jeans. I hated my naturally curvy thighs because I wanted them to look like the thighs of the models in all of the music videos. Don't ask me why. I ate baby food for 2 weeks and I lost 13 pounds. That's almost a pound a day and is completely unhealthy. I stopped because I realized that I had no energy and I looked really pale. Looking back, I'm grateful that it didn't turn into some awful eating disorder. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I did end up gaining a lot of weight in my adulthood. And about 9 years ago, I lost 75 pounds in a natural and healthy way. For several years after that, I was working out every single day and strength training about 5 days a week. And I was in tip-top physical shape. But even though I was in the best physical shape of my life, it didn't mean that my emotional body image issues had gone away. I still obsessed about every little imperfection and felt even more acutely that my self-worth was tied to looking like what our society dictates a woman should look like. Let me repeat that in a simpler way. Losing 75 pounds and becoming fit and toned did not cure me of my body insecurities. It wasn't until recently that I started having a more healthy, positive body image. And although I'm still active and eat healthfully most of the time, my circumstances have changed in life so that I no longer have the time to work out 7 days a week. I've also gotten older, so my metabolism has slowed down a bit, and I'm in that perimenopausal stage of my life. Yes, I'm mentioning that taboo topic. And so the fat in my body is being distributed in a different way than it was before. Work out to stay healthy and to stay kind of fitting into the clothes that I like to wear, but I'm done obsessing about every little thing. And I've definitely noticed that my face is looking older and I have a few wrinkles around my eyes, and not just when I'm smiling, and that's okay because I'm getting older. I do have a morning and nighttime skincare routine, and I use serums and creams to slow down the aging process, and I'll admit that I color my hair because I don't like the way I look with gray hair. But the difference is that I'm doing it because it's my own personal preference and not because I feel that it makes me more worthy of love or happiness. And those reasons should extend to any changes we may want to make in our body. So maybe you want to gain weight or lose weight to be more healthy, or because you want to look a certain way, and that's okay if that's your own preference. Not because you think that's what you have to do to be more worthy of love or happiness. You should still accept and appreciate your body as it is right now before you make any of those changes, if you want to make any changes. I want to stress that. I'm going to be honest, I haven't completely mastered it myself. I definitely still have my moments, but I've come a long way from where I was, and yeah, I'll take that. So the first area you should work on so that you can begin to accept your body is to cut down on the body shaming. This means removing yourself from any toxic social media, or any media for that matter, ads, magazines, etc., that make you feel bad about your body. This may mean that you'll have to unfollow some people on social media, and that's okay. If you're being body shamed by your loved ones and even the people that you live with, you will want to have a sit-down conversation with them about how their comments make you feel. If they truly care about you, they will change. If it's become so habitual that it's really difficult for them to change their behavior, you may need to institute some penalties. For example, with children, I recommend that they might lose their electronics privileges every time they make a hurtful comment. They will stop making those comments fairly quickly, let me tell you, because as you know, kids can't live without their electronics. Adults who are being resistant or blatantly disregarding your emotions may need family or couples counseling. And finally, I want to point out that although a lot of the body shaming that I experienced came from loved ones, I was probably the worst offender. No, I didn't shame myself out loud, but I shamed myself internally in my mind. There are several techniques that I recommend to deal with this. First is to acknowledge every time you have a negative thought about your body by writing it down. It may sound like a hassle, but we carry our phones around with us all the time, don't we? So just start a note in your phone, in the notes section, that is entitled BS for body shaming. What else does BS stand for? You know, I don't have to tell you. Every time you have a negative thought, write it down, and then immediately write down 2 positive thoughts about your body right underneath. It's kind of a version of this positivity exercise that I used to do with my daughter when she was little, because I felt that she tended to have a negative outlook a lot of the times. So anytime that she said something negative, I would make her say 2 positive things about that particular object or topic or thing. So an example for your BS note, negative thought. My thighs have so much cellulite. 2 positive thoughts. I'm very grateful that my legs are strong, and I love that my skin on my thighs is very soft. Another technique is sitting down and thinking about all of the things that you like, love, or are grateful for in regards to your body. Maybe you really like your feet, or your face, or your butt. Maybe you're really grateful that your body carries you around and allows you to go hiking in beautiful places, and that your hands are really skilled at playing a musical instrument, or that your feet are really skilled at dancing. Write them all down and turn them into affirmations that you can repeat out loud at a certain time each day. You can do it in the morning when you first wake up, or you can do it at lunchtime, or you can do it at bedtime, whenever you like. Here are a couple of my favorites. My body is strong and beautiful. I love my body. My body supports me every minute of every day. My legs take me to the most beautiful places on earth. The second area to work on is to stop comparing your body to those of others, particularly models and celebrities. Keep in mind, celebrities have tons of money to spend on personal trainers, personal chefs, and plastic surgery. Do you think that all of those celebs with super flat tummies who've had kids, and especially after the age of 48, haven't had a tummy tuck? Girl, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm sure a lot of them have. Our bodies are as special and unique as our personalities are. And maybe your BFF has the most amazingly beautiful hair that you wish you had, but maybe you have the full lips that she wishes she had. God made us all beautiful in our own special way. The trick is to admire and not compare. And the third area to work on is to practice self-compassion for your own body. In my self-acceptance part 1 video, I talk about having self-compassion around forgiving yourself for your mistakes. Well, so you can practice self-compassion towards your body, especially for those parts of our bodies that we like the least. Notice I didn't say the parts of our bodies that we hate. The language that you use when referring to your body, whether internally or out loud, is very important. Do not verbally bash your body. It can hear you. In fact, it always hears you, even when no one else can. It might help here to think of your body as your child. It belongs to you, but you don't want to hurt its feelings. Speak kindly to it. Use those affirmations that we talked about in number 1. So back to those parts that we don't like very much. I'm going to be super vulnerable here, chicas, and mention one of mine. I have one beautiful daughter, and I had her via an emergency C-section. So I have a low C-section scar below my belly and right above my bikini hairline, for lack of a better term. The scar itself isn't so bad, but it kind of creates this indentation that I'm not too crazy about. I used to really beat myself up about it, but now I've come to accept it and be grateful for it. Scar is a reminder of the happiest day of my life, the day that I became a mother after several years of trying to conceive with no success. I'm getting emotional here. That was the day I heard my daughters cry for the first time. So what if my lower belly looks different because of it now? Being a mom utterly changed my life for the better, so it's apropos that my body should have changed because of it as well. Well, that's it for today, chicas poderosas. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I like to end with a refrán, which is a Latina saying or adage. Well, today's nugget of wisdom is poco a poco se anda lejos, which literally translates into little by little you can get very far. Undoing experiencing years and years of negative body image and or body shaming is not going to happen overnight. You need to work on it every day and little by little to change your mindset and the behavior of others. But I wholeheartedly believe that it can be achieved. I'm living proof that you can definitely improve your body image. I will continue to work at it and hopefully you will too. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give it a like and please subscribe to my channel. And also, please, por favor, give me your comments. Let me know what you think. Ask me your questions. I read and I respond to all of the comments. Sending you and your beautiful bodies lots of love, chicas. Besos y abrazos a todas. Hugs and kisses to all. Mwah.